Spencer Brooke was a small, trim woman with a subtle but very definite sense of style. She stood out in the crowd and was noticeably chic. She wore her blonde hair in a bun at work and loose when she was at home. At 37, she ran a major enterprise. She was the owner and CEO of one of the most respected department stores in New York, Brooke & Son, more commonly known as Brooks. Although her more distant ancestors and her mother's family had all been bankers for generations, her father's family had been in the retail business. She was the fourth generation. It was in her blood. She loved the store and everything about it, and had ever since she was a child. She loved the smell of it, of muted perfume, the moment she walked through the door, and the elegance of the merchandise they carried, which made her proud whenever she saw it. She was 14 years old when her grandfather, Thornton Brooke, told her that one day she would run the store. It had never occurred to her before, but from then on she had taken special pride in it. Her grandfather was 80 years old then. He taught her the things she would need to know one day, and would later quiz her on the information he'd shared with her. Brooks, in its present form, had been Thornton's dream as a young man. Thornton's father, Jeremiah, had owned the largest, most successful department store in New York. He had established it with his own inherited fortune in 1920, with a partner. They called it Johnson & Brooke, and when Jeremiah bought out his partner a year later, he kept the name. They had the finest elite customers in the city. All of Jeremiah's male relatives before him had been bankers, and his own father was skeptical when Jeremiah founded the store with the family money he had inherited. Jeremiah had an unfailing instinct for and attraction to retail. He knew just what both men and women wanted to buy, and he supplied it, bringing in the highest quality merchandise from Europe, and beautifully designed pieces from all the luxury brands in the States. Thornton was 9 years old when suddenly everything changed. He didn't understand what had happened at first. The family moved from their mansion on Fifth Avenue to a small apartment in Gramercy Park. His grandfather's bank closed its doors, and he heard his parents speak of the closing of the store in whispers. Jeremiah gave up his beloved store 9 years after he'd opened it in the same year that his son Thornton was born.